our flag.
Where to go? Where's the flag? Use your imagination.
Okay.
Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did I get your permission? Oh,
There it is.
we're gonna have to put it on the end if he keeps coming.
I didn't hear that. That's all right.
It's just that you have to, it's a long trek when you have to slip behind everybody.
Mr. Secretary, has this meeting been advertised according to law?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it has.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Diadio?
Here.
Mr. Newton?
Here.
Mr. Scott?
Here.
Mr. Palando?
Here.
Mr. Gravellman?
Here.
Ms. Zepka?
Here.
Ms. Fisher?
Here.
Councilwoman Novak?
Here.
Councilman Conti?
Here.
First order of business, authorization for payment of bills 9L, that's A through G. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we approve on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Diadio?
Yes.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palando?
Yes.
Mr. Gravellman?
Yes.
Ms. Zepka?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilman Conti?
Yes.
Next order of business 5B, authorization for payment of bills NO related non-escrow to be paid when funds are available. That's H and I. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we approve on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Diadio?
Yes.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palando?
Yes.
Mr. Gravellman?
Yes.
Ms. Zepka?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilman Conti?
Yes.
Next order of business 5C, authorization for payment of bills to be paid from escrow accounts to be paid only if escrow funds are available. That's A through F. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we approve on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Diadio?
Yes.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palando?
Yes.
Mr. Gravellman?
Yes.
Ms. Zepka?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilman Conti?
Yes.
Pending matters, waterfront redevelopment, Mr. Samuel.
Yes. We had a Zoom meeting this afternoon around 12 o'clock to go over things, and Riverton reported that they're having ongoing discussions with Bass Pro, and they're really engaged so that they're really moving towards seeing that happen this year. But I do have one thing that you have to know. The Bass Pro sign is gonna come down for a couple of days because it's in the way of a storm source. So when anybody gets a call that said that they took down the Bass Pro, is it not coming? That is not true. They're taking down the sign because they have to put a pipe in under it,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna go back up.
And
So,
somebody had asked me if they're getting ready to build, building because they said something's happened to the sign over there.
well, they are engaged. They're having heavy discussions with them of all of the specifics, and they're trying to work that out.
Yeah.
They continue to prepare the site. They're putting in storm drainage, and that's why they're running up the storm drainage on that side of the street of Chevalier Avenue. And that's why they gotta take down that sign. And they're preparing the other alternate access that you see over by the traffic light, so that
Yeah.
when they start working on Chevalier Avenue, they're gonna have to take out the old concrete pavement, everything. Access will be from that other road, so there's a lot of work planned, okay? Mayor and council recently approved them opening up Main Street Extension for the water line that has to cross it, and that's gonna happen sometime towards the end of March. Things are progressing. They reported today that they made their application for the new program of ERC funds, which is called Aspire program. So hopefully they can go through and find out on those fundings, because that's the remaining piece we need for them to go through and really move forward on this development. But they continue to make it happen. We're having meetings with them regularly on water lines and on sewer lines and different infrastructure that's necessary for the project. So they are fully engaged. That completes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Nothing to add.
Joe, you have anything?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions from the commissioners? Moving on, the 2020 audit.
Mr. Chairman, we've publicized the summary of the audit as required by law. We've gotten 6 out of the 9 signatures on certification, that simply being that you received a copy of the audit, which was submitted last meeting. I forgot to bring the sign-in sheet. I will make whatever arrangement anybody needs, the 3 remaining people to meet with you so you can just sign it. Who are the 3? Because a couple of signatures I couldn't recognize. All right, Janet, and who else? Who hasn't signed it? It's just a document indicating that you've read the audit, you've gone over the audit and whatnot. You haven't signed it. You can go over to Dave Samuel's office and sign that, right?
No.
Okay. Number 2, anybody else?
Somebody didn't.
Is that for the ball field?
Pardon?
Is that for, the grass field? No.
All right, I'll make the calls and I'll double check this. I
know
want
I
to do it as
did.
soon as possible, so I don't.
You can't.
I will get that out, but otherwise, I put the package together, send it down to the state, and that's done. We also got word, but it was only yesterday, so they couldn't get the proper documentation together, that the budget was approved by the state, so next meeting, we'll be able to sign off on that in final form, and be ready to start the process in a few months. All right?
Okay. Gillette, is that yours, Mr. Samuel?
We're not ready to go through and make any recommendation on Gillette yet. They still have to complete one item yet at the site.
Yes, they got the CO, Mr. Chairman, but that's not the end of the story. The bonds have been released. There's a question of a bench, and we still need to, which is technically not formally requested, but we still need to, we as an agency need to make sure that all the conditions required by our redevelopment agreement have been met. So hopefully, we'll be in a position to do that into the next few weeks.
Yeah, the items that are open, Mr. Chairman, are minor. One is, I think there's a bench missing. I think we need as-built drawings. Jay has them on his list, and we have to review to make sure that everything in our agreement has been completed. But I don't want to go through and do that review until after all of the physical improvements are done.
And Chairman, as you call it, it's a 2-step process. The borough gives the certificate of occupancy, and the agency approves the certificate of completion. And this is the due diligence for the completion part.
Yeah, now, no one has requested a certificate of completion as of yet. So, I think some of the, I think that's something that has to happen yet from the attorney for Gillette.
Mr. Wisniewski, is he still doing it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
All right. Resolution providing for holding a private executive meeting pertaining to litigation, personnel, contract negotiations, and property acquisition and sale. Can I have a motion to go into closed?
I make a motion, we go into close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So that's
This is
resolution.
really
not on.
Yeah.
And Joe, if I could steal that copy of the Sentinel one, so I can read the caption. Thanks, sir.
Okay, next order of business, new business resolution certifying 2020 audit. Do we have to hold off on it?
I don't think we have to hold off on it, because it's already been published. You received a copy of that resolution certification. The only thing I need is the 3 more signatures acknowledging that. I'll witness them, we can send it out. So, but the resolution basically just certifies that all commissioners have received a copy of the 2020 audit, and they personally received it, have asked any questions that they deemed appropriate and find it to be acceptable for purposes of agency business. So I think we can vote on it, because it's just the 3 signatures, then I get the package out to the state and get
Do you
it.
want to read anything into the record, or do you just need?
I think that summarizes it. It is in your package from last month, so if anyone wants or has a question about that.
All right, can I have a motion to approve
I make a
certifying 2020
motion, we
audit?
approve on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Diadio?
Yes.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palanda?
Yes.
Mr. Gabelli?
Yes.
Ms. Zepka?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilman Conti?
Yes.
Next order of business, resolution confirming completion of project and making any financial adjustments.
that should have the word Gillette in it, but it doesn't. In any case, we're not taking any action on that yet today.
Resolution confirming termination of MEC redevelopment project with financial adjustments if necessary, and we discussed what those will be, some of them, and we're taking care of that, so. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we approve on roll call vote.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Mr. Diario?
Yes.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palando?
Yes.
Mr. Gabelli?
Yes.
Ms. Zepka?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilman Conti?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Baker, we have one more
We
resolution.
have one more, Chairman, item D, resolution of the Saraville Economic and Redevelopment Agency approving amendment to the redevelopment agreement with Parlin Section 1 Urban Renewal LLC regarding Section 1 of the Hercules redevelopment plan. This would amend the agreement to change timing for the filing of the requirement for the timing of the filing of a DEP permit. They still need to prepare the permit. They're just being held up by a third party at the moment. And rather than hold up the whole project, we're recommending that you proceed with the amendment.
Can I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion, we approve on roll call vote.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Mr. Diario?
Yes.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Palando?
Yes.
Mr. Gabelli?
Yes.
Ms. Zepka?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilman Conti?
Yes.
Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing none, can I have a motion to open to the public?
I make a motion, we open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone in the public wish to speak?
I'm just curious if they found a place for the garage.
Please stand up and state your name, please.
Sorry. I was just curious if they found a new place for the garage.
Can you just state your name for the record?
Thomas Brennan.
If we found a new place for the garage?
Well, if it's been, yeah, I guess you guys, anyway, Board of Ed.
We're not building a
Well,
garage.
no.
No, I mean, it's the bus thing.
Oh, the bus depot.
We're still
Okay.
trying to set up a meeting between the council and Board of Education.
But I
Discuss.
think you, if I saw it on Facebook, what you're looking at is what properties SERA has,
Yeah,
correct?
is it gonna be in Morgan or is it gonna be, you know?
No.
No,
It's
no.
not gonna be in
Let
Morgan?
Mr. Samuel answer the question.
We were authorized by the mayor and council to go through and prepare a map of borough-owned property that could potentially be used for that, as well as SERA property. We prepared that map that was provided to the Board of Ed. They're reviewing that. They may be having discussion with the business administrator, I'm not sure. But that is under review. There are two pieces of property that SERA owns on that. And those are up for consideration. The board has to decide whether they work for
So
them.
there's two counting Slover, or?
No.
No,
No.
there's
Two
two
council.
properties
Oh, okay.
that SERA owns. That's this body, not the mayor and council.
Oh, I get you.
Okay.
I get confused.
Yeah, so there's two properties that are on that map. There are a number of other properties that the borough owns on that map, and the Board of Education's reviewing them.
And
As
they're
I
not
s-
in any developments or nothing, they're pretty much out of sight, like out of, off the way?
One is off the way. There are other limitations to it that the board would have to decide. And one is not so much off the way. It's near a proposed new development that's underway. So, there's considerations on that also. But again, it's something that the board has to decide whether anything works for them, and then they have to negotiate with the mayor and council as to what the mayor and council, if it was Sarah's property, they
Yeah.
negotiate with Sarah,
I get
but
it.
if it's the mayor and council's property, then they have to
I just
sit
thought
down.
that, I thought that they had to hurry it up and have it done, but I guess that's not a problem.
Well, we prepared the map that showed the available property. I think in all fairness, anytime you're looking at property, you have to go through and determine what the cost to improve that property is.
Yeah.
Some pieces of property you have to cut down trees on, others you don't. All of that impacts
The cost.
their
Yeah,
interest.
well, I'm just concerned, because like, that's the only green space left at Morgan, that's it.
Hey, all I can tell you is that from the borough and from Sarah's standpoint, additional properties have been given to them for consideration. Whether they're satisfactory to the board That's
So
one thing, and the other question is whether or not those will be determined suitable by the mayor and council, the mayor and councils, or by this body.
So it could actually wind up being in Morgan.
What's that?
It could actually wind up being in Morgan if it's the cheapest.
I can't say
Did we,
that. That's not up to
did we
me.
even have any spaces in Morgan?
They were gonna knock the ball fields down.
No, I mean,
No, no,
they're
but
not gonna
that's-
do that anymore, but were there any other properties in Morgan that were
No,
proposed?
it's the only green
No.
space left really in Morgan.
No, but it's not our property, it's not Sarah's property,
Yeah, I get it.
okay?
But you guys would know about it, right?
Oh, yeah, well, you know I know.
That's what I'm saying.
So, the council, at this point, from what I know, correct me, Vinnie and Mary, that
The
there's a
7th,
proposed
right?
meeting on March the 7th, that the council reached out for the Board of Ed. So they're trying to put it together for March 7th. I guess we could actually meet, Dave and,
There's no
You
reason
could,
for us
but-
to go there unless it's our
listen,
property.
There's,
our property.
Yeah.
No, I'm
yeah,
just saying.
with regard to SERA property, if the board has an interest in SERA property,
Right.
they should express that to SERA, and
So
then we
It
can
would
meet
be
with
known ahead of time.
Right, but it's two
That's all.
separate entities, so if, once the board meets with the council,
Mhm.
then they could,
Yeah.
meet with us as well.
Yeah, I was
We
just
could put
told to
together.
show up at these meetings anyway, so.
Yeah, no,
Thank
we
you. You
understand.
guys have been real good about it, thanks.
I did see something on Facebook where it said Sarah didn't give a list of properties, but that wasn't
Somebody
true.
said that, but it wasn't true.
Yeah,
Can
that
we
wasn't
have a
true.
list
We,
of
we
properties?
submitted our property list.
There's a map,
Yeah,
okay,
it's a
that
map.
was
Can
prepared.
we, are we,
Yeah, you can go through and have it. If you go through and contact me at my office, give me your email, and I'll go through and, or give me your, write down your email,
okay.
and
thank
give
you.
it to me, and I'll send it to you.
But thanks very much.
You're welcome.
When
Anyone
did
else
you
have a
hear about
question
March 7th?
from the public?
Because I don't have any email on that.
No, wasn't that?
Being none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Make a motion, we close the public portion.
Good. Anyone else out there? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Hey, Joan, there was nobody on the, no one
Thank you,
on
everyone.
Nobody
calls?
was on?
Nobody was on any calls?
Yes.